Ada Lynch, welcome.
Nice to meet you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Amazing. How are you doing? How's Gainsight? What's the latest and greatest?
Well, Gainsight is amazing. We are always just, thrilled to be here and working with our customers. As Marilee mentioned a few minutes ago, in the last few months, we've made a really exciting acquisition, Staircase AI. And I will set the table of saying that it is a really great platform for like two important reasons. For customers who aren't yet ready for a CSP, one of the gentlemen before it said something like terrible data. Well, it's all of just for ingesting your communications data. Everybody has it. Or for those long-standing Gainsight or Tatango or Term Zero customers who do have a CSP, but you're missing something because humans miss a lot of things. Data might just not tell us everything. So what Staircase AI does is it ingests all of your human communications. So think, like Marilee said, call recordings, emails, problem tickets, even external Slack channels. And we're bringing that into a really nicely built interface for really your leadership to have a bird's eye view of those communications, of that sentiment coming from the customer. And you're able to kind of triage those things and deploy the right folks to handle those issues. Marilee, anything else you want to add there before I share? I got a thumbs up.
Yeah.
From my boss. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share, Julia. Is this a good time?
Yep. Let's do it.
Awesome. And I'm going to move your faces over here to the left. And somebody give me a thumbs up when you can see the Staircase executive dashboard. Yes. Reason I'm starting here. So even our Staircase founder likes to start in a report. I think this is such a great place to get an understanding of the beauty of Staircase and what it does. As I mentioned, I just ingested all of this data and I'm a leader. Now, I only have 14 accounts in here because it is test data. We're not going to put out real customer data, but I am engaged in 14, or I have 14 accounts. I'm only engaged in 12 of them. My overall revenue is $1.85 million. I've got great NRR. I'm really happy and good GRR. So congratulations. What does an executive want to see? I'm a leader. So this is kind of a pre-built out-of-the-box dashboard that is going to tell you the most important things about your book. Okay, so activity. Where am I spending my time? Those tickets, those emails, those call recordings. I might be spending too much time in my SMB when I should be spending more time in some of my higher revenue accounts. What is my health based on those communications? I'm coming back here in a few seconds to these at-risk accounts because the AI is telling me that. But as a leader, what do I want to know? I need to know what accounts are dark. I have not had a renewal discussion. We are not reaching out to this account. So we see this account right here, Green Flame. What do we think is going to happen with Green Flame? Well, shocker, churn detected because we're not doing the right kinds of things. We are not having the right kinds of communications with that account. As a leader, as Marilee, it's keeping me up at night. But we need to know some of these things because Gainsight has thousands of accounts. We need to know where, and these aren't real accounts. We need to know where we need to address issues. But we do have some positive things down here. We've got some renewals coming up. But as a bird's eye view of those accounts, this is what matters to me. Okay, let's talk about risk. So I've got 2 risky accounts. I'm clicking in. Everything is completely dynamic. I'm going in and I'm seeing, for the last 90 days, I've got 2 risky accounts. One's enterprise, one is SMB. I know why my health score is good or bad because I'm hovering here and it's saying this has a bad health score because I have a churn risk here, obviously. And then really importantly, I know who the owner is. In this example, let's call it the CSM. So Sally and Emma, those are the people with that vested interest. I need to engage Sally and Emma based on what that AI told me about this risky account. Those are the folks that I'm going to bring in to triage this issue. All right. So let's look at some accounts. Okay, so I knew Green Flame wasn't doing so well, but maybe I am Marilee and I'm going to be doing some QBRs or EBRs. I am looking at about 12 accounts here. I know based on those accounts, what we're spending. And really importantly, I have those accounts and I know where they are in our tiers of business. And I know what our engagement score is, our health score. And I'm probably going to focus on where I see those red accounts. So the AI is essentially telling us, based on that communication, how are we doing? Are we engaging enough? And when we're engaging, do we have good feedback from that customer? Okay, so let's take a look at Abbott. And this is where it starts to get fun. I am a digger. I want to dig down into accounts. I might have 120 accounts or something as a CSM, and I don't necessarily, or a CSM leader, and I don't necessarily know that I can study those accounts. So the AI is putting together the synopsis or the summary up at the top of the page. It tells me what we've got going on with it. So they've bought our product. They're 25, one of their campaign results is 25% increase in click-through rates and so forth. So we've got the important table stakes up at the top of the page here to get you acquainted with the account, but Marilee wants to know what's happening. So we see this life cycle journey here based on those engagements, those emails, those call recordings, ticket data. And I am really thrown off here by this extremely negative message. So Gainsight or Staircase AI is really reading all of those emails, and it is triggering for Marilee or for Nick, our CEO, a Slack that says, Mayday, it is time to go out here and deal with potentially this issue that we're having with our biggest, our newest, our favorite customer, Abbott. And what is that message? This is an extremely negative message because the AI of this tells us so, but I need to know what that is. So this person's saying this isn't good enough. We're still seeing major issues with our deliverability. This is triggering to me, like I don't want this to happen. So what I need to do as a leader is to bring in the folks that have a vested interest in that account. In this example, this was to Tori and to Liam. These are the folks on this account that I'm going to bring in to fix this issue. Okay, so extremely negative message. I've got some good things on this account too, but I need to bring in Liam and Tori. Other things that this single view of this account will show you is where are we engaging? And we know what these are. These are emails, these are chats, these are meetings that we're having. So the AI, based on these interpersonal human communications, are telling us things that data might not be able to tell us. It goes above and beyond CSAT and NPS and usage data. And we're really listening to what the customer is saying through those call transcripts, through those emails. And that sentiment score is based on what we're learning from that customer. So I might be going up and down, and I might be having different volume of communication with that customer. And that's what I really need to know to manage this account effectively. All right, let's talk about relationships. Remember I said I had to go talk to Liam? I need to know, to address this issue, this extremely negative message, who in my team is communicating with this customer. So my team down on the left here, Liam, this is my man. I'm going to be going to Liam. And then these are all the important people at that account. So Jason was the one that actually sent that really negative message. I need to know, am I multi-threaded in this account? Liam might be the CSM, but the name of the game is multi-threading. Who is the person on this account that has the best relationship with Abbott based on those communications to go out and address that issue? So I know it's Liam. So one thing that's beautiful about Staircase is you can kind of click in here and look at the stats for each of those people. So this might be a big issue that I want Liam to take care of because he is their CSM. But I also know here that Liam sends a lot of emails. He's holding a lot of meetings, but his response time is greater than 7 hours. So do we need to have Liam's leader or somebody that is on Liam's team maybe address some of these issues? So much visibility in Staircase into those important things that are happening in that account. My favorite one, as we're kind of talking about the relationships and the people in that account, is the radar. We were at TSIA in Las Vegas a few weeks ago. People were walking up to my booth and asking me to show them this radar. So because we are really trying to use the communication to multi-thread within that business, we know that at the core of Abbott, who the other folks that we are collaborating with are and who is kind of closest to that account. So here I see that it's Liam and Amelia. Those are the people with those best relationships. And those are the folks, maybe not necessarily, somebody in, accounts receivable or even accounts payable. But we know that those are the folks with those great relationships in the company. All right, I know I'm coming up on my time here. A few other things that I know that we really love is looking at your accounts. If I kind of close this out and look at all of the accounts, another way to approach this, I think Mary Lee would probably agree this is potentially the way she approaches it, is this really cool tree map. So I went in looking for specific things, but here, this is where I can visualize where I have good spend. So I've got a lot of spend at Abbott, and maybe, some lower spend at other accounts, but I need to know where I want to spend my time. So this is a great way that we use Staircase's visualization of the sentiment of those accounts intertwined with the revenue of those accounts to also help coach my team to make sure we're focusing on the right things. And then finally, as I'm coming up on my time, we have our dashboards and reporting here. So we've got these nice reports that are focused specifically on the insights that are coming out of the things that we are tracking. So those simple things like emails and the calls that we're doing. So these are out of the box reports that are there for you to kind of dig deeper into the areas that are important to you. I like open items because we know we just got a really negative message. This is taking too long. And we need to know, is this a persistent issue maybe across all of our accounts? So I want to know, as Marilee, as our leader, what open items do we have in those accounts that I'm tracking? So this is also taking a look at those tickets. Are we taking too long to close those tickets? Are we taking too long to respond to those emails? And then this will give that view for the last 90 days of those open items that we have. And then we can even kind of see what are those. So if that leader needs to go in and start to mitigate that issue, you can really even see what some of those things are. Okay, I only had 15 minutes, so I was trying to keep that brief. Marilee, did I leave anything out that you find super critical?
No, I think you covered it all. Great job, Allie.
Okay.
This is really cool. Love the radar. And we have a couple of questions from our audience. And the first one, Ellie, is do you have an example of a customer detecting churn risk and preventing it?
A customer detecting churn risk?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is really the name of the game and the reason that we have Staircase. Not only detecting the churn risk. Do you mean like a real life example?
Yeah, I think that they mean like a customer story.
Oh. I don't have a customer story off the top of my head. Marilee might. With that said, we've had Staircase for a couple months now. I'm still learning about it.
I think there's a really great example. And I think when you think about receiving an email when you have a current customer and the email says something to the effect of, hey, we'd like to invite you to an RFP, but you're the incumbent. That is a thinly veiled, like kind of signal of, hey, we're not 100% sold on you right now. We're taking this out to RFP to get a sense of like who else is out there that can serve our needs at maybe, a better price point or better features or something like that. And so, like there's a lot that like Staircase can catch that isn't so glaringly obvious of an angry message from a customer. The angry message is one thing, but when it's, hey, something like that, like, hey, we're looking at an RFP, like that's a really good example of a Staircase being able to kind of like parse through the nuance is what I would say.
Yeah. And actually a real life example of that, our CEO, like he got a Slack message one afternoon. It was like a Friday afternoon that said that something was going on at a customer and that CSM was not in the office for a few more days. So our CEO actually took the reins and started to control that potential churn risk before there was really any data around it and before our CSM even knew. Slack. What else,
This
Julia?
is amazing. I guess the last question here, people are asking about the roadmap. So probably Marilee and Allie, what are you personally most excited about when it comes to the roadmap in 2025 and Staircase?
I'm excited about just the convergence of our, our staircase, this new product, and then our legacy CSP as well. To
Mhm.
combine both the insights piece, which Ali just took us through, with the actionability piece of like a day in the life of a CSM.
I'm thrilled we're on the same page with that, Marilee. I'm so glad that you said that because I was so excited when we acquired Staircase because I really was selling to new prospects, people who are coming to us for a CSP. And there is that missing link of that insight from customers. So here, everybody understands what a customer success health score is. But this is a really great example of, yes, we're measuring outcomes. Yes, they're giving us great NPSs. They are participating in our community. But now we've got that element of integrating Staircase into the regular uses of the customer success platform and using that to drive health score. Not even necessarily roadmap. We could do this today, but it's just where I think that Gainsight is going, and it's so powerful. I'm like nerdy excited about it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. Please follow Marilee and Ali. And where should our people go to follow up on this conversation? Ali, should they contact you?
They certainly can, and I can deploy them appropriately. But we've also got really great tools on our Gainsight website where we can capture that lead as well. But if anybody wants to chit chat,
you know where to go. Awesome.